said this, Ajay, and which very clearly emphasized on the skills or the qualities of an entrepreneur, from self-belief to passion. How does one really translate that into the day-to-day function? Because not more than ever, this is the time when we all across the globe as entrepreneurs need to show this all skill sets to really revive the economy and revive our own businesses. So keeping that context in mind, uh, I had a question for you, because you belong to the tourism hospitality industry. What are the few tips or techniques which you would like to share specifically for the tourism and the hospitality industry? Because people in India like to go out and eat, but then everybody is scared. But there is an equal responsibility on the role of the entrepreneurs in this industry. So any views on that, Nisha, Jay?
Yeah, I think that's a very valid and it's a very relevant question, keeping the current scenario and the situation for today in mind. So, if we have to look at, I would like to rephrase your question for you, is if we have to look at how we can revive the hospitality business during the time of this pandemic. So, I think that it's important for all of us to understand that COVID-19 has affected hospitality businesses across around the world. And now that restrictions are being lifted, it is the time for us to be aware that your business has changed today, and you need to change as well. As a stakeholder in the hospitality industry, you must reflect on your current business model and on how to strategize your business beyond the curve. To overcome the challenges of COVID-19, hospitality businesses have pivoted and innovated to survive and to thrive. Now, as we move into the next stage, Dr. Samir, of this pandemic, it is important for the industry to look at what it really takes to restart and to operate safely. It is important for us to understand that it is now the time to switch from a survival mindset to a growth mindset. All these days we were panicking. We were just in a survival mindset till today. We were trying to think, alright, what is going to happen? How are we going to survive? But now that we've seen that through, we now need to start looking at putting our mindset onto the growth trajectory. Right? We have to reevaluate the business of our past and adapt to what we call now very popularly is the new normal. Needless to say, you must have a strategy for restarting your business. So let me just share a few, quick tips as to what we think should be done. First up, I think that most of the entrepreneurs do not understand the importance of what I'm going to be telling you, but it is very, very important. All entrepreneurs, irrespective of what industry you're from, you've got to evaluate your own health and well-being in preparation of reopening your business. Right? So have you ever heard of the phrase, you can't manage others if you can't manage yourself? I believe in it. And I think that today, more than ever, it is really important for entrepreneurs to be to evaluate their own health and to prepare to be ready, to be in a state of preparedness. You must reevaluate yourself before you step back into the role of a business owner or a leader. Your existing, right, once that is done, I think what first thing that you will need to take a look at is all businesses have some sort of a brand promise. For example, the brand promise of India's most popular hotel chain, the Taj, today has come up with their new brand promise, which is called Tajness. Tajness simply reflects what it means is their sincerity and their care. That is what they mean when they say Tajness. So you as an entrepreneur or as a business owner must take a look at what your brand promise was before COVID. And is it relevant today? If it is relevant, then please, by all means, go ahead with it. If not, then you need to make relevant changes to your brand promise and make sure that you're reaching out and communicating to your audiences or to your guests in the manner that you want to. After this, another important point which all business owners have to get into is to learn and to train your employees to maintain to maintain operational practices following the virus reducing techniques for cleaning and sanitizing, including the employee's own personal hygiene. Don't expect your employees to know it. Train them. It is very important. As business owners, you have to understand what contributed to your revenue streams earlier and whether those streams are still relevant, or do you need to think up of newer ways to add to your revenue. That's also an integral part of your business restart strategy. You should build digital assets to cope up with the new normal. Today, the new normal would be walk into a restaurant and you have a digital menu. You simply scan the QR code and you have the menu right at your fingertips on your phone. You need to build systems and processes for contactless check-in, check-out, contactless payments from guests, even contactless employee attendance records, for example. So you need to build on these digital assets. Identify and work on your short-term cash position and how that is going to how that is going to impact your reopening. It is very important for us to renegotiate terms with our vendors. Go back to your vendors, renegotiate terms with them. Renegotiate terms with our bankers. It is very important for us to do that. Renegotiate terms with all our channel partners. All, the people who are distributing your inventory around across the market. Renegotiate your terms with them. Renegotiate your terms with your employees as well. Why not? Renegotiate. Everybody is going through a tough time. You've got to renegotiate and make sure that your business, when it restarts, you're in a safe place. Also, have you identified a new revenue stream? I'm sure most of us have identified new revenue stream during the COVID-19 survival or lockdown stage. So what we did was we came up with newer ways of delivery, where delivery went contactless, or ordering was contactless. The payment by guests went contactless. We identified that as a new stream. Very interestingly, we also did something called Our Chef at Your Home, which meant that the chef would go to your home if you were having a little get together, or if you're just tired of cooking food. The chef would come to your house and cook for you. Of course, taking care of all the sanitization precautions, all safety protocols would be taken in place, and the chef would come to your home and cook you up a nice, delicious meal. So we identified that as a new revenue stream. Also to make sure that the chef, who was out of work, also could get something on the side. We did the same thing with bartenders. If you wanted a bartender to come to your house and fix up a drink for you, our bartenders went out to people's homes during the lockdown time and whipped up a couple of cocktails for them. We did that. So you also need to see whether you can monetize these revenue streams now. Whether we can further monetize them. So these are very important for us to take our business reopening strategy. This could be one of an integral part. Today, after COVID, we've now learned how to engage better with our online community. Like it or not, COVID has changed the way traditional marketing was looked at. Today, we have to build a formidable, and I use the word formidable, online presence to stay afloat in the new normal. You have to. Remember, one more thing, last point, is today, cash is king. Turn off the unnecessary lights. I do that at my hotel. Ensure that wastage is at a minimum. Be frugal, buy local. It is important for us to be sustainable, locally sustainable. We need to buy local. The money will come back into the economy. We need to do that. So these are a few points, Dr. Samir, which I felt I could share with you when it came to how we could go about in restarting and in reviving the industry.
Absolutely, very, very practical points. Just to add one or two more things which we saw in Mumbai also was like hotels like Taj and ITC. They were offering, laundry services because they have anyway huge laundries available in their setup. So
Yes,
they were doing it for residents. That may not be a very big revenue stream for a ITC hotel in Bombay, but it connects them to their customers. Because otherwise, what do you speak to a customer? At least because of this, they are able to make a call or they are able to send a WhatsApp. to the customer. The laundry maybe is just a bahana, to reach out. So that is one. But since I'm sure, Ajay, there are a lot of people from your industry who are listening, I would also cite a small example which could be of help. So I'm based in Mumbai, and the Wellinkar Institute of Management is based in Matunga in Mumbai. Okay, it's a very South Indian Gujarati locality, very popular. Dadar, Matunga, very popular areas in Mumbai. And there is a restaurant there by the name Ramashray. Okay, it's a 75-year-old idli dosa Udupi restaurant. So there are three popular restaurants in Mumbai, for they're known as breakfast heavens on Facebook with more like 5 lakh visitors and likes. So there is one is Cafe Madras, there is Ramashray, and there is Mysore Cafe. This like guys rule the entire South Indian food chain in this city. So in this restaurant, it's a 75-year-old restaurant, Ramashray, do fantastic business. They start at 5 in the morning and end at 9 in the night. So people wait at before 5 o'clock. After morning work, they wait in the morning to eat idli dosa. So that being the context, what we have seen, Ajay, and then they run it for 73 years. So third generation, second generation. One of their owners was a student in this family business program. Okay, the elder son who runs the hotel was a student a few years back, Akshay Shetty. And what he learned in the family business program is that he went to Japan with us for a 2-week tour, and there we visited the Toyota factory in Nagoya city. He learned the concept of just in time. Because you mentioned why I took up this example, you said reduce wastages, right? So he learned how in a car manufacturing company, they do seamless manufacturing cycle on the shop floor in Toyota. He comes back to India after that learning. He implemented the Japanese management techniques which he learned in the program in his restaurant of idli and dosa. Okay, after a period of 3 months, he could bring down his inventory from 40 days to 3 days, and now we are working it to bring to 1 day. And in our city, which is traffic, Mumbai, he brought down his wastage by 19%. And this restaurant has waiting for one hour outside. He brought down wastage by 19%, brought down the inventory from 40 days to 3 days, working to bring it to 1 day now. So, application of something very practical could really increase. So his cash flows are phenomenal. His customers get very, very fresh food because they're always sold. There is no stock. So whatever is there is sold. Profitabilities went up. His younger brother also is now a student in the program. So there are a lot of things which I would suggest hospitality industry entrepreneurs also need to learn from other industries.